landkeepers. Yeah, they're here. They're here. Peter Davies here somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's on his tape.
Alison's the... Oh,
just slightly off the sides.
I'll leave it just over. Oh, that's okay.
My name's Lish Fayer. I'm a presenter here at 666. I present Sunday Brunch, the lesser evil on Sunday. I cover mainly uncurrent affairs, but I also have a background in sustainability and general science and the love of it. Many years ago I did a telly show on the ABC where I told people to turn off their lights, called Carbon Cops. It was very officious, and I'll be going around later and turning off some lights in here. I grew up in the country. It's amazing Landcare as brand recognition. I wouldn't have imagined I'd be here tonight because as a young kid I grew up in the Tooma Valley, which is in between Corryong and Tumbarumba down in the Upper Murray. And I remember the haves and have-nots down there. The haves were those that had a Landcare sign on their property, and I still remember in terms of brand, it was that symbol, this one. The Landcare Australia, that fantastic hands symbolising wrapped around Australia. And even as a young kid, I recognised that. Fantastic work to Landcare Australia that I still recognise that for brand recognition. I think the only other brand I remember is Wins, whatever that was. I don't know, I still don't know what it was, but it was a brand. Is it a brand? What is it? Oh, is it a brand? So Landcare Australia and Wins are my two things that are seared in my memory. So I grew up on the land and I could really appreciate how much work Landcare does in keeping that land working. And as a daughter of a farmer, my dad was heavily involved, and we spent many times planting trees, putting those little things around trees, tackling erosion, which often involved putting a lot of sticks in already eroded land. So I guess I can really appreciate everything that you have all done to give back to the land and make our land as it is now. I left the land many years ago and now live in Canberra, and as a gardener, I appreciate that still. That love of the land is still there. Thank you for doing it. You know, it's really appreciated that we can go out to this glorious parts of the ACT and around and just just enjoy it. It's a really fabulous place that you all take part in creating and developing and making sure that it's just looked after beautifully. So tonight is just to celebrate and recognise all you who have done fantastic work here in the ACT for Landcare. But first of all, I'd like to welcome us all to country. I'd like to introduce you to Violet Sheridan. She's one of our great Ngunnawal elders, and she told me as she was driving here she almost got lost. So we're lucky to have her here.
Just tell them my secrets.
I know. She's got a better story.
Because I said I went to the yacht club. Well, I was thinking about boats. So I said, I wouldn't make a black track, but they'd send me out to look for somebody and they'd have to come looking for me. I better grab my glasses. I originally come from Yass, alongside, I grew up with Wally Bell in Yass there, and talking about land, I've gone back now to look at, we used to go down the river and I used to play cubby house. We used to play cubby house, there used to be a lot of rocks across from where I lived, and we went down the river and swam in the river, but when I went back there, so much has changed, the landscape has changed, and in Yass, we never went hungry because there was always cherry trees or blackberries. But when you go back there now, all the blackberries are gone, there's hardly any cherry trees. So the landscape has changed, and just outside of Yass, my great-great-great-grandmother, which they call a Queen Caroline, Chisholm Lane. And my great-grandfather was named Albert. And there's a property out there, it's actually belonged to the Lands Council, but it used to be an Aboriginal reserve. And her little mud hut is still, the little mud hut, they brought about 11 kids up in this little mud hut. I don't know, they must have been terrible short, because when I went in there, I had to bend down in the old, some of the whole houses. And when I actually worked at the local Lands Council there at Yass and actually got some money from the Lachlan CMA. I was actually there representing the Aboriginal community and the local Lands Council there. So I actually got some money there, and if you're out near Rye Park, that's where the property is, going out towards Burua. I'd like to explain the meaning of welcome to country. Our tradition of welcoming people is one that has been handed down by our people since the beginning of time. Before entering someone else's country, you should announce your arrival and only go in when the traditional owners of the land welcomes you. The reason for the custom is to protect your spirit while you are there and to show respect to the first peoples of the land you are entering. The Ngunnawal people, as with all Indigenous people, have a great culture and heritage that we like to share with all Australians. As many of you would be aware, Canberra means meeting place, and it has been a place of gathering for my people and where we come together to deal with important business and ceremonies. It's important for us all to acknowledge and recognise our unique histories and to gain understanding that our land is our heritage and how the loss of land has disconnected many Indigenous people from their spiritual links, culture, heritage and identity. Our Ngunnawal ancestors believe in the importance of people getting together for the purpose of sharing knowledge and building relationships to celebrate the gift of our heritage and history. I'd like to pay my respect to elders past and present and extend that respect to other Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people present. I'd like to acknowledge Simon Cabell, MLA, Minister for the Environment, special guests, ladies and gentlemen. In keeping the general spirit of friendship and reconciliation, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all here this evening. On behalf of my family and the other Ngunnawal families, who are the traditional owners of the land you are meeting on tonight. Thank you so much.
Our next speaker, born and bred, I think, in Western Creek. I don't think anything more needs to be said. He's our Deputy Chief Minister and our Minister for the Environment. Simon Corbell, I think, I'm going to speak from myself here from a Carbon Cop's perspective. I'm so proud to live in Canberra because of its foresight, I guess, in such forward-thinking targets for climate action and doing stuff for the environment that I think really leads Australia, and a lot of it comes down to the government that we've got. And I'd like you all now to welcome the Minister for the Environment, Simon Corbell.
Well, thank you very much, Lish, and I'm really pleased that the Carbon Cop thinks we're doing okay. Auntie Violet, thank you for your welcome to country. I would like to acknowledge, of course, that we are gathered on the lands of your people, the Ngunnawal people, who are and retain an enduring connection with this beautiful city and this beautiful region. And I acknowledge your elders, I pay my respects to your elders, and thank you for the continuing contribution you make to the life of our city and our region. I'm also very pleased to welcome a number of distinguished guests this evening. In particular, can I acknowledge board member of Landcare Australia, Peter Sutherland. Peter, good to have you here. And also the CEO of Landcare Australia, Tessa Yakshevik. I hope I got that right, Tessa. So welcome to you in particular. But more importantly, can I welcome everyone here who's involved in the Landcare movement in the ACT. It's a great pleasure to see you all here this evening. I thought I'd start my comments this evening by reflecting on what Auntie Violet said to us about the fundamental and critical importance of country, of landscape, to the work and to the culture of the First Australians. As Europeans, collectively, we for a long time failed to understand and appreciate just how critically important this connection was and remains for Indigenous Australians, for the First Australians. I'm very pleased that here in Canberra we are taking a range of steps to rectify that terrible and tragic error. And in particular, I'd like to acknowledge the work that's being done with the Ngunnawal elders of the Tupinilla Valley and the broader Brindabellas for young, well not just young, but for Indigenous men and women who are suffering from the scourges of alcohol and drug addiction. It is a great demonstration of how we recognise finally that country is so critical to healing and so critical to the well-being of people. And Landcare, as a movement, really demonstrates the best of these attributes. Landcare is not just about the physical tasks of addressing erosion or weed removal or replanting and revegetation or monitoring and counting species and ecosystems. It's also about the friendships and the connections you make with your fellow Landcarers. And in building and creating those connections, you're contributing to a wonderful level of social capital that builds the capacity of our community to respond to challenge, to be resilient, and to be sustainable and compassionate as we face some quite unprecedented challenges naturally in our natural environment. So for all of those reasons, it's a real pleasure to be with you here this evening. In my time as Minister for the Environment, I've been privileged to see the work of many of our Landcare groups. I'm always blown away by the level of enthusiasm and commitment and passion that everyone in these groups brings to the task. And I'm also impressed by the innovation that we see. The one that still stands out to me is, of course, the work by Greening Australia. I think the speed planting activities, I think they're called. where you can date and revegetate. I think that's pretty clever. So, for all of those reasons, I hope that tonight is a great one for us all to enjoy. We will be recognising the efforts of some outstanding volunteers, individually and collectively in groups. I look forward to acknowledging and celebrating the work that you do, and that I hope that in the many decades ahead we will continue to see this strong citizen-based commitment to a more sustainable future, which is going to be so very critical for all of us for many, many years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister Corbell. I love what you said about the three forms of capital in Canberra and in the ACT, but I especially love the social capital, because every photo I see of a Landcare group, you always look like you're grinning, regardless of the conditions. And there's always, you're always gathered around in a little posse. I guarantee there'd be lots of thermoses of tea, lots of good laughs, and when you come home, you're probably still pulling out a bit of Patterson's curse as you walk through the parks of Canberra, or chipping out a burr here and there. Tessa Jakshevich is, well, she's been the CEO of Landcare Australia since 2013, and she's the one that does all the wheelings and dealings within government and business and to the community. I think she's a bit of a renaissance woman though, with experience in business as a Deputy CEO of the Antarctic Climate and Ecosystems CRC, I think, in Tasmania, and previously as General Manager at Telstra. She's got degrees in business and science and all things, so I think it's the perfect combo to be CEO of Landcare Australia. She is now going to present the Junior Landcare Award. Please make her welcome.
Good evening everyone, and thank you so much for the opportunity to come along here tonight and be part of your celebrations. I feel extremely honoured to actually be doing the presentations for the Junior Landcare Award, because Junior Landcare, of course, is the future of Landcare, and without kind of encouraging our young people, there is no future for Landcare in Australia. So this to me is particularly dear to my heart, to be actually presenting this award. This award will be made to a youth organisation or young Landcare team that contributes to raising awareness, knowledge and understanding of Landcare among young people up to the age of 18. So that rules me out, I'm afraid. And implements Landcare practices on its own property or within the local community. For this award, youth organisations include primary schools, secondary schools and youth groups such as Scouts. I'm not sure about guides and brownies, but I'm assuming they're included. The winner will receive a $500 prize money and will represent the ACT at the National Landcare Awards next year. And the winner of the Junior Landcare Team Award is Waniasa, I hope I said that right, Hills Primary School. Wonderful school has done. Waniasa Hills Primary School, under the leadership of environment science teacher Deb Shaw, has transformed a school environment building into a vibrant and productive hands-on environmental teaching area, complete with vegetable gardens, a chicken enclosure, a plastic bottle greenhouse, whatever that is, and a frog pond. Every week students learn about natural resource management and sustainability in kitchen garden sessions, planting and harvesting vegetables and preparing meals to share. Students also take part in broader activities such as native plant propagation and planting sessions, and share their ideas about the environment and sustainability at student conferences. I wish I had done that at my school. Deb has recruited students and parent volunteers to help with the development of the Environment Centre and the delivery of its teaching programs, allowing the school community to learn about the environment, natural resource management and sustainability. Well done.
Thank you.
Really well done. Sounds fantastic. You've gone over and above.